everyone, my name is Sade Britt. I am the president of the International Association of Student Surgical Societies, and I have the privilege of standing here in the beautiful city of Vienna at the Hofburg Palace as part of the Future Surgeons program for 2022. We were humbled and excited by the opportunity of being involved with the International Surgical Week hosted by the International Society of Surgery.
Thank you so much, Sade. I'm just going to start a bit open-ended. Can you please describe your experience at the conference?
Sure. So I previously attended the same conference in Krakow, Poland in 2019, and I think for me the main thing was how different this conference was from that one. Although the same people attended and although the content was not similar in terms of the presentations, but the format was similar. It was so different to me, even though it was just 3 years later. I think you grow so much in your young career. I was a medical student back in Krakow, and now I'm a junior doctor. So the goals that you come with are different. And my goals for this conference was not only leading the Future Surgeons program professionally and making sure that people are exposed to opportunities that are available at this conference, but to me personally, I was in a space where, having been really idealistic and romantic and a little bit naive about what surgery was when I was at the last conference, to coming to a place where I've done my surgical rotations, and the next time that I would just be in a surgical environment is really only if I'd chosen surgery for my future profession. And so coming to this conference, a lot of my romantic notions had been burst. And now I'm in this space where I need to decide, is this what I want to do for the rest of my life, and do I want to continue investing into that? And being here and seeing all these people who are really passionate about what they do gives you a new sense of hope and a new sense of purpose that there truly is a future for you and a space for you in this field. And so that was inspiring and gives me a lot to think about and really to consider, because not only are there a lot of advantages, but there's a lot of realities, there's sacrifices that need to be made. And I think I was able to be in a space where I could see if this was something that was my priority and my goal. So that's what the conference was about for me. But obviously there was incredible networking opportunities at the dinners. There were fantastic academic sessions. There were great corridor conversations. And so all of that just adds to the ultimate experience.
That is fantastic, Sade. Thank you. Now, can you please tell us about the most interesting thing you learned over the week?
The most interesting thing that I learned. So obviously there's a lot of academic sessions about the new technologies that are out there. There's a lot of things happening regarding updated guidelines, and those are fantastic. But it really comes down to the personal experiences that you've had, the mentor-mentee relationships that have just constantly been focused upon and have been emphasized. So I think the most interesting thing that I learned while I was here, I think that it would be the fact that in our president's dinner, in our president's address, he spoke about the history of the International Surgical Week. And to me, yes, we know that the International Surgical Society is the largest surgical society in the world, blah, 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 but seeing that history makes you realize how much bigger this is than you, well, how much bigger what you are part of it is than an individual. So having seen the incredible people that we only hear of in textbooks, that diseases are named after, that discovered incredible innovations for surgery are now part of the giants upon which shoulders we stand to build the society further. So I think that was the most interesting thing, and the thing that really resonated with me was how incredible the foundation of the society is, and how many people that are really leaders in their fields historically have been part of the society. So I loved seeing that, and that also made me realize that in future conferences, hopefully we will be part of that history, and people will be able to look back at us having seen the same influence that we now see in those past cornerstone leaders.
That is beautiful. I just have a few more questions. So you've already answered a few in your initial speech. I'm just going to ask, how can you now apply the knowledge that you've learned here in your home country?
So I'm originally from South Africa, from Cape Town, but I'm currently working in Durban. And I think one of the most important things to apply there, because it's very difficult to go into a system and be like, okay, let's change the system in a country where the resources and the staff and just the overall feeling is not the same as it would be in a high income country or many other countries across the globe. But I think what I always take from these conferences that I try and relay back home is the confidence that you can approach people with, that you really don't have to look into the hierarchy and just be stuck there. You're allowed to approach people as a junior doctor, as a student. You can ask all those questions and you can be as passionate as you want to. So coming from the conference, the thing that I like to take back is just to show people that there are opportunities and you can start working at those opportunities even as a student. It doesn't only start when you are a doctor, and I think that's really powerful because that gets people here and that motivates people to take their career further.
Exactly. So as the president of the IASSS, you have been sort of the leader of the FSP, and you've been observing us closely and you've been working with us very diligently. What are some of the pros and the cons that you'd say you've seen in the FSP this year?
Sure. So the Future Surgeons program is different from the last time I was involved. Last time I was standing in the shoes of a delegate and just enjoying the conference, finding the little faults in the leadership here and there. And now that I'm on the other side, I want to go back to those leaders and say thank you and apologize for every little bit of trouble that I caused them, because it's so different standing on this side. You really take responsibility for the other delegates, and you know how much effort you put into this conference and making sure that your name and your society's name is respectable with the renowned surgeons, with the ISS itself. And so essentially putting so much trust in delegates that you've never met before in person to take that further and to keep that standard throughout the conference. So there's a lot of risk involved in a sense from a leadership point of view, but we've been exceedingly proud of all the delegates. They've done their job above and beyond of what we've expected, which was also surprising because our delegates were more junior than we've had in previous years, but they've really risen to the occasion. Their networking skills were professional and yet passionate. Their session skills and conference support was professional, yet they were still asking the sincere questions. So I'm really proud of the delegates for this year, and I'm hoping that we will have even more delegates applying for Kuala Lumpur in 2024.
Thank you very much, Ade.
Hello everyone, I'm Ruben Masia, third year medical student from Stellenbosch University in South Africa, Cape Town.
Cool, thanks. And Ruben, where are we? Tell me a little bit about why you're here and what have you learned this last couple of days?
We are actually at the Hochberg Palace in Vienna, Austria, and we're at the International Surgical Week. It has been absolutely fantastic, life-changing. I've learned so much, I've networked so much, and yes, surgery has completely changed for me. So it's been
Okay,
fantastic.
Great. So I just want to start really open-ended. Describe the conference, kind of the trajectory for you when you got here. What was your impression? Where were you at that stage in terms of your thought process regarding surgery, and how has that evolved these last couple of days, and how has the Future Surgeons program helped you to reach this new plateau?
Exactly. So I'd say that when I first got here, I had a lot of imposter syndrome because here I'm a medical student and I know that I'm going to be surrounded by the best surgeons in the world.
Yeah.
So when I got here, I was very self-conscious and I was very worried in spaces, not knowing if I was fitting in, not knowing if I'm going to say the right words or if I'm going to be just appropriate for the setting. But then as time went on and how welcoming the surgeons were, I really started to develop a love and a real passion for everything. And so I'd say that what they've shown me is that we are not just like the Future Surgeons program, we are literally already in the door. We are literally just like surgeons, it's just a few more years and then we'll be there. And so they've really encouraged us, they've tried to make us feel comfortable. And so it's really just been an experience where they've sort of removed that imposter syndrome and they've made us feel like we belong. So I'd say that the trajectory of it just shows that you're worth it, you can go for it, you can do it. So now that has just given me a lot of confidence and I want to go for it. Now more than ever, I really want to go for it and I really want to try my best. So I'm really excited. It's been fantastic. I've learned humility. I've learned how to, because I thought that these surgeons are going to have a huge ego and they're going to be arrogant, but they break every stereotype. They're humble. They understand that arrogance is just a manifestation of insecurity. They know that good ego versus bad ego, ugly ego. So it's just been, I love it. It's been great.
Absolutely. Sorry, open again. Thanks. So that, let me just hang on before I go. So that really goes into my next question of what was the most interesting thing that you learned? So you've said a lot already, but if you just had to pick one or two, what would really be your top points?
Okay, I would say that I asked the surgeon. I asked the surgeon from Australia a question at one of the dinners, and I asked him if there's one key that you'd give me for a good surgical career, what it would be. And so he gave me 3, but one that really stuck with me was, he said that be confident and comfortable with your place in the universe. And that was just that, because we're always so uncomfortable with where we are at. We're always reaching for more, we always want more, and we always are trying. And that specific thing was just like, okay, this moment right here is perfect and it's enough. So I'd say that out of all, we've learned a lot of surgical knowledge, we've learned all of that, but that one key of just like be confident and comfortable, absolutely comfortable with where you are placed, that was really the one for me.
Absolutely. And then let's take that specific point. How do you think you can take that back to South Africa and your home country? How can you encourage others to follow their dreams but to be comfortable in that space? And how can you apply?
Exactly. I think specifically for me, it applied as it was amazing, because I felt a lot of the times I felt like South Africa was not the best, or I felt like it was not, we could do better and we could get better. And then especially it was very highlighted coming here, seeing the facilities, seeing everything, and that specific sentence just showed me that even in South Africa, even wherever, we must be confident and comfortable there. We must know that this is it. This is where the universe wants to place us at this moment, and so we can work ourselves and we can grow ourselves in whatever environment that we're in. So whether you're in Sudan, whether you're in Vienna, whether you're in South Africa, be comfortable and confident that you can build from that specific place. So I think, how can we encourage others? We must just really make them understand that South Africa is amazing, or whichever countries they come from is amazing, and they can grow wherever they are. They don't need to go to they don't need to go to Harvard, they don't need to go anywhere. Wherever they're placed, they can grow right there and they can do amazing things.
Then also tell me, how has this conference and just the people that you've met, how has it influenced your perspective about your future career path?
Oh, it's really been amazing. I think one thing that I learned was that I think no man is an island, and this was very highlighted here, because every great surgeon just spoke about how this surgeon opened doors for them, and they spoke about how even just a phone call away, they could, like, some of the best papers that were ever produced or published were literally just over a phone call with one other surgeon, and then this one calls that one, and that network. So I think it just showed me that you cannot do it alone. You need a good network, you need a good foundation of mentors and everything. So I think it's just made me very aware of the fact that now I need to go find mentors. I need to continue that friendship with other surgeons, and that is
so do you also think that there's a couple of people you met here that could potentially be those mentors? Do you think this actually encouraged not only the theory thereof, but also practically networking and coming into contact with those people?
Exactly, it has done that, because we got a lot of opportunities to get their business cards and to get everything. And one of the sessions actually spoke about how you must have 3 mentors. It said one in your institution, one in your speciality, and just one that is far away from you that you really admire. And so I've been playing around with those ideas, trying to get 3 mentors, and I have a few names so far. I'm very excited, but I think I'm going to follow up on them and just really try and show them that I'm interested, and I would like them to help me in any way possible.
Amazing. So the last question that I have for you, can you give us some feedback regarding pros and room for improvement of our current Future Surgeons program?
I'll say that the Future Surgeons program is very interesting. We have it's a melting pot of different personalities, different people that come together, and we sort of, like, by the end of the week, we really do become a family. If anyone knows, they know that Udit is literally my younger brother and James is my bigger brother, and we've just been everywhere together, and we've really, even with you, Sade, we've developed such a great relationship over the past. So I'd say that it's a melting pot of people that just come together, and you learn so much about one another, and I think it's fantastic that we get these experiences with one another, so that even when this ends, we can still be great. One con though that I'd mention is that I feel like I'm very worried that by the end of this, all of this might just disappear and it might just be like, okay, the only build up was International Surgery Week and then it will dip. So I'm hoping that even after this, the communication still goes on and we still try to organize stuff for the Future Citizen program. If that's possible, that would be amazing. But everything is a pro, the people are amazing. We all have one common goal, and that's we really want to become surgeons, as the name suggests. But we all have different ways of wanting to go about it, and so I really think it's great.
Yeah, I mean, if I think that 4 days back, before the president's night, I actually never even met you, that's crazy, because I feel like
It's
I know you
fantastic.
so well.
Exactly, it's
something that the program has always done is bond people together, but it's so true that you say that we need to be careful after this, that it doesn't just fade away. But unfortunately, that is the reality of these type of events, that people make a lot of promises, people open a lot of opportunities while you're here, but the real work starts after this. And keeping those things going, making sure that they become a reality, that's where the real effort comes in, and that is what divides those that are just here for the show of it and those that are really here to further their career. So it's up to all of us to now go and make certain that the things that are important to us, because unfortunately you won't be able to chase every opportunity that's been exposed to you here, but the things that you really found important, you need to know what that is, and you need to chase that these next 2 years, because we have another one coming up in 2 years' time in Kuala Lumpur. So there is this roller coaster type of a dip and a high when it comes to the program, but we hope that the people that are truly inspired by these conferences will be there in the next 2 years, building up to the next hype, and also getting things done on the ground, being the real man and woman in the arena, doing the hard work during the interlude. So that's what we're hoping. But thank you, Ruben, for being part of our program. Thank you for enriching us. Thank you for doing the social media and just making everything better.
It's been amazing. Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Sang-in Lee. I am currently studying at the Stellenbosch University. I'm a 5th year medical student, but I was born in Korea. I have the privilege to take part in this prestigious Future Surgeons program to attend the International Surgical Week happening in Vienna, Austria right now.
Awesome, thanks, Sang-in. So just having been here the last 4 days, tell us a little bit about your experience, what were you doing as part of the Future Surgeons program, and what was your experience if you just had to summarize it briefly?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I can state that I had the most amazing experience of the lifetime. I can clearly state that. But just to give a general overview, so when we were selected as the Future Surgeons program, we started off with having a meeting about what we are going to be doing. We greeted and met each other, we talked about our responsibility, and then once we arrived in Vienna, we also went through the program. So our main responsibility as part of the Future Surgeons program is to host the sessions. So that includes interacting with the speaker, helping them comfortably present their presentation, and at the end of the session also say thank you, greet them. So as a general overview, this was a very exciting opportunity. Other than the technical administrative things that you're responsible for, we got plenty of opportunity to meet and interact with the world's top surgeons, and I genuinely feel as if this wouldn't have happened unless I came here to the Future Surgeons program.
Awesome. Okay, so if you had to think about all the sessions you sat in with, all the conversations you had, what was the most, or two of the most interesting things that you learned?
Okay, so I mean, I personally have a very big interest in endocrine and breast surgery. So having sitting in the breast and endocrine session and like listening to their lecture was really, really interesting. And what really struck me out of this experience was that there is so many state-of-art technologies that I haven't been aware of. It was a wonderful time to get to know of this, the newest technology, the newest published research, and also to talk to the actual authors of those papers.
Awesome. So what do you think are some of the things, whether professionally or personally, that you've learned at the conference can you take back to South Africa or maybe even Korea one day? You know, just what can you take back to your home country so that it can be used and actually applied in that setting?
Of course. So, like, I'm currently studying at South Africa, so it is a low and middle income country, and there's a lot of space for development. And I feel like where surgery is really important in South Africa is the global surgery and trauma surgery in particular. So I actually met a lot of people who is working on the global surgery here. Many of them are working in the surgical committee or also the WHO, the World Health Organization, and they are really passionate about global surgery and the improvement of the healthcare in low and middle income country thereof. So yeah, I was talking to them, and we are really excited to maybe in the future launch new projects that could look into the development of healthcare in South Africa or even in Southern Africa.
Awesome. And then how would you say has being at the conference personally influenced your future career path?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing was networking. I met so many wonderful surgeons, and they're also compassionate for the students, and they're really encouraging. So out of this conference, I really got a lot of confidence about myself as a future, as an aspiring surgeon one day. I grew my interest in surgery even further, and also I did get to discover the specialties of surgery that I am more interested in. So that was really great, and also to talking to them about the future research opportunities as well, because they've got a lot to offer, and myself from the South Africa, I also feel as if I've got a lot to offer and we can collaborate.
Amazing. So you spoke about the networking that you were doing, and I know you in particular were meeting so many different people from around the world. So can you tell me, are there anyone that you met that you'd like to keep in contact with? Any potential mentors that you were able to identify at the conference?
Yeah, so I'll definitely pick Pro Patricia Newman. She is the person who really initiated the women's involvement in surgery, and if I'm not mistaken, she is actively taking part in the Women's Association of Surgery as well. I was deeply inspired about her journey to make the female surgeons stand in the world where we are currently, and we definitely love to keep in contact with her to build a relationship and also advocate for women's involvement in surgery continuously.
Amazing. Can you give us some feedback regarding the pros, but also room for improvement regarding specifically the Future Surgeons program and how we could improve that for future delegates?
Yeah, so pros, definitely networking, meeting being in beautiful city of Vienna or elsewhere in the world. The next conference will be in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, so that's also going to be very exciting. And also to meet like-minded colleagues from the Future Surgeons program. There were 14 of us, and each one of them are so passionate about surgery, and this is definitely contact that I want to keep in the future. So that's a really big advantage, and also to be at such high level sessions talking about the latest discovery, research, technologies. So that is the definite pros. Cons wise, you're just feeling tired because you work a lot. Future Surgeons program, it is such a wonderful program, but you really need to be dedicated towards that, and you really need to be able to put everything that you can into the program in order for you to get the most out of that. So I'll say that is the only con, but it's also very pros. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Sonia, and thank you for your involvement with the program and just what you're doing for surgery in your own university. I know you've been involved with local societies and going into your final here. I know you're going to make a big difference, not only in your final here, but even as a junior doctor soon. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Shadai.
Hi, my name is Laura. I'm from Colombia, Bogota, Colombia. I'm 22 years old. I'm a final year medical student. I'm here at Hofburg at the International Surgical Week because I don't know.
You're part of what program?
I'm part of the Future Surgeons program, and I'm really happy to be here.
Start very open-ended. Tell me, for someone who doesn't know the program, what did you do as part of the Future Surgeons program? How did our days look, and how did you experience the conference?
Okay, so the day starts early, like 6:30, 7 a.m. The objective is to help every speaker on the room you're assigned to. So every day we're assigned in one room in order to help the speakers and the moderators and everyone who is around. We are able to see the talks and to enjoy the talks.
Just let the car go by so it doesn't disrupt our noise.
Go on.
Sorry.
We're able to enjoy every talk we want, but we must help the room we're in. So that's what we do, like help things go smoothly, and that's it. That's like what we do. We're also a bunch of people from all around the world. We're all like-minded people designed to be surgeons. And that's it, I think. What
That's
else
brilliant.
do we do?
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So just tell me a little bit, if you think back on the 4 days of the conference and all the lectures that you attended, all the conversations that you had, what was probably one of the most interesting things that you learned while you were here?
I would probably say two things. First one, like really cool surgeons, like really great people, are always open-minded, and they're like on the attitude to make you feel right and to make you feel comfortable. You can sit with them, you can chat with them, and I was really impressed because they're like very big people, and they're like very open-minded to let you talk with them and so on. So I think the biggest experience I had was Patricia Newman. I was just drinking coffee and she was sitting in there, and I never thought I could meet her in person. And I just sit on the same table as her, drinking coffee and just chatting. Like, you should do that, you should do this and do that, blah blah blah. She gave me so really cool advice. Like, you should do this, you should look for this, she told me like you should make millionaire friends, and I was like, what? And she explained the advice, and so on. She also said like you have to go on doing like you're doing, and so on. So
That's amazing.
that was a really
So
experience.
why was it so important to you specifically to meet her?
Because in Colombia we created the Association of Women Surgeons chapter for Colombia. So when I got here, I find out that she was in here also. And at first I thought like it was a could be really great to see her, just to see her, but the situation like went over my my thoughts, my first thoughts. So
That's
yeah, it was
awesome.
great. At first I think it would be great to just to say hi,
Yes.
but I got to see it with her, so it was really
Amazing.
special. Yeah.
So how do you think you'll be able to take what you've learned these last 4 days at the conference in terms of confidence, in terms of the networking, the academics? How can you take that back to Colombia? How do you think it can be used? How do you think you can help others from what you've learned?
I think this experience teaches you a lot to be more like comfortable, like speaking to great people, so you can be close to them, so on. So from now on, I think I can be more confident by talking to them, to surgeons or anyone. I think to reach them and like, hey, I'm Laura, I do this and that, blah blah blah. This experience like makes you really really comfortable. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
And do you think you'll be able to carry that over to some of the other students in Colombia?
Yeah, in Colombia we have a group of students, of like-minded students, and it will be great to teach them like you can do this. There's no one so great that can be reachable. You can talk to anyone you want. Just look for them, like
Exactly.
reach them, talk to them,
Exactly.
do something. And I think I will teach them.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I hope you encourage them to
To
apply
come.
next time. Come,
Yeah, yeah.
come, become part of our program.
Yeah,
Awesome.
one of my hopes is next time to be more Latin American people.
Absolutely.
Because
we
I'm the
hope
only
that
one.
too. Yes, Colombia was represented because of you, but I
Yeah.
mean, we would like other Latin American countries to also join.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
So do you think there are some of the mentors and the things that you met here that you would like to keep in contact with? Are there any ones in particular, Patricia Newman, anyone else
Patricia.
like that you thinking could lead you in your career?
First of all, Patricia Newman.
Of course.
But second, there was a lot of Latin American surgeons, not as much as students, but surgeons, there was a lot of them. So I think the Spanish speaking thing made it easier. So I hope to see them back in Colombia. I hope to see them a lot. I mean, like 10 surgeons, I think, Latin American surgeons, who are available and who are there available to speak with.
So I know that you received a couple of proposals in terms of future plans. So how do you think what happened at the conference shaped where your future career could go? Tell us a little bit about those conversations and those possibilities that have opened up for you.
Yes, I obviously want to be a surgeon, and one of the main proposals was like a scholarship, something like that, like how do you say it? Yeah, like exchange of experiences with Mexico and with Austria. So that was one proposal that I'm looking for. My hopes are being a surgeon, a great surgeon, but I'm really deciding what to do. But the proposals exist, so from now on I just will decide which road to take. But the thing is, this experience has a lot of proposals behind, a lot of great people behind. So
Absolutely. And you can say this in Spanish if you want to. So if you had to give some advice to the medical students back in South America and just from your home country to try and encourage them to come and tell them why they should come and apply for the Future Surgeons program next time, why don't you tell them something in your own language?
Si pudiera dar un consejo sería eso, acercarse a la gente, hablarles. Nadie es tan grande como para no poder hablarles. Acercarse, hablar, contar lo que hacen, decir quiénes son, tener una hoja de vida y volver al sitio al que sea la próxima vez, a Kuala Lumpur, I think. Al sitio que sea la próxima vez y representar a su país. O sea, poner la bandera de su país en alto. That's it.